Alright, what's going on, guys? So today I want to talk about where is Elden Ring? And believe it or not, we've actually got some pretty big updates, and I'm going to break them all down for you in this video. But before we begin, guys, I've noticed the vast majority of you aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It'll help me out a lot, and drop a like on the video if you want to see more of my content. And let me know down in the comments, what do you want to see out of Elden Ring? Do you want to see a vast open world? Do you want to see a big MMO type game? What are your expectations for this game? Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into the latest news about Elden Ring. So, about 2 weeks ago, whenever the new Sekiro update got released, From Software finally acknowledged Elden Ring. All the way since 2019, this was the first time they've actually said anything about it officially, and it was in a tweet. So if you follow their Twitter, you definitely saw this, but they tweeted out, "We also greatly appreciate all the enthusiasm and support shown for Elden Ring, our next dark fantasy action RPG, and we hope you look forward to it." So obviously that's no huge news, but here's the fact that was special about that. This was the first time From Software officially acknowledged Elden Ring since their trailer back in 2019. There has been no news, no announcements, no new trailers, nothing about the game. And they finally broke the silence in saying that yes, this project still exists and you can still be excited for it because it's going to come out eventually. And around this time there was a lot of speculation going on that From Software was having problems with licensing deals with George R.R. Martin and having him work on the lore and all that. They thought there was going to be some kind of legal dispute going on between who gets the rights to the lore that he created. Now obviously that was kind of taken with a grain of salt because when the game first came out this was a joint project. And we knew that this kind of style that they were going for with this project was kind of contracting him to help come up with the lore. Now he wasn't going to retain the rights to that, From Software ultimately would. And if you know about how this kind of thing works, you knew that. But this theory had kind of gained a lot of traction, and people were thinking that is why we haven't heard anything. But this tweet really put all that to bed and kind of got this hype for Elden Ring resurfaced. And so, with that tweet and all this hype resurfaced, we now have some really big news to share. So about 5 days ago, Phil Spencer came out and said that he had actually played quite a bit of Elden Ring. And he described it, he said, "As somebody who's played all of Miyazaki's games over the last decade, this is clearly the most ambitious game that he's done." He goes on to say, "I mean, I love his games, but seeing some of the gameplay mechanics and stuff that he's tackling, he and the team are tackling this time, of the setting, working with another creator in terms of the story, I love it." So it really sounds like From Software is going above and beyond with this game, and that's probably why we haven't heard anything, is because they're working so hard on it. And I'm sure the climate with COVID and all that didn't help anything, but that's not what's important. I think what should really get everybody excited is the fact that Elden Ring is in a playable state. Now, if Phil Spencer was able to go in and play it, he's not really too involved with From Software or anything, so that means they're letting outside sources come in and test the game for themselves, and that really gives us a good idea of when this game could be coming out. If we look at From Software's calendar and the way they release their games, we see new content from them almost every single year. I think for the past 6 or 7 years, I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm just going off the top of my head. I think they've only missed 1 year without giving us some new content in 6, 7 years, something like that. We've always seen either a new game, new DLC, or new big first party content come out from them. So last year we had Sekiro, this year we have Demon's Souls, and I'm pretty certain that we're not going to get DLC for Sekiro. As sad as that makes me, I don't think we're going to get that. So I think we can clearly see either a winter release of next year, around December, like they did with Demon's Souls this year for Elden Ring, or really early 2022. And I think everybody should get really excited about that because now's the time we'll probably start seeing trailers come out. We might see some gameplay soon. We might even get to get hands-on with this thing at some game shows or E3 or something like that. Now, here's where the rumors come in. So, after this tweet came out from Phil Spencer, everybody got super excited, and now the speculations are running wild, and we might actually have some insider information here about when we'll see Elden Ring. So, in a recent article published by Game Rant, they say, according to a source, Elden Ring will be one of the many games revealed expected at this year's show, finally breaking a long silence since the initial reveal. They go on to say, the same source indicated that Elden Ring was to be shown at the Xbox event earlier this year, which obviously did not come into fruition. While the thought of seeing the game soon is exciting for From Software fans, they should keep in mind that even the source has stated they are not 100% sure at the moment. I'm not someone that typically gets super hyped about rumors like this because I've had my hopes diminished a lot, and I've been really disappointed like with y'all know I'm a big Metroid fan. So with Metroid Prime 4, every time there's a new Nintendo event, they're like, oh dude, look, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be announced, and it never happens. So I'm keeping my hype to a minimum for this. I mean, it is high time we see something about Elden Ring, but I would not be too excited about the event coming up because we've just had our hopes crushed so many times with this. But if Phil Spencer was playing this, that means that it is in an at least pre-alpha stage. I mean, if they're giving this out to outsider people to play, it's probably pre-alpha, at least. And if we're seeing this with Phil Spencer, it probably was involved with the Xbox showcase, so it would make sense for it to be shown at the next event. But keep your hype to a minimum. This is just a rumor right now. We don't know for sure. Nothing is set in stone. So make of the information what you will. So now just for a couple housekeeping things about my channel. I'm really waiting to get my PS5, man, dude. I tried all the restocks with Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, all that stuff, dude. I'm checking every website to stay on top of this PS5 release, and I just can't get my hands on one. Now, tomorrow is the big worldwide release, so hopefully there are a couple restocks. Fingers crossed I can get my hands on one. I don't care if it's the digital or the disc. I just want a PS5, and I want to play Demon's Souls so bad, dude. I'm seeing all these YouTubers play it, and like all their titles and thumbnails, it just looks so awesome. I am going to stay spoiler free so I can do a blind playthrough for you guys. I've never played Demon's Souls, and as soon as I finish Demon's Souls, I want to do a Bloodborne playthrough with y'all. I've been wanting to play Bloodborne forever, but I never had a PS4, so I'm still completely, well, I'm not completely blind on Bloodborne. I watched a lot of the lore videos just because it was so intriguing to me, long before I ever intended to make a YouTube channel. So I haven't played the game. I know of a couple bosses and stuff, but it's mostly going to be a blind playthrough. So I hope you guys can get excited for that, and I'll catch you in the next video.
I let her test drive out in the west side. She get my best side. Girl, I know you see it coming on your timeline. You're just like fine wine, hit on my line. Girl,